Hey everyone, welcome back to the English Learning Podcast. I'm Brain.
And I'm Anna. Thanks for joining us today. We're super excited about this episode because it's all about something every English learner struggles with: how to remember new words.
Yes, how many times have you learned a new English word, thought, this is easy, I'll remember it, and then poof, gone the next day?
Exactly. It happens to all of us. Even native speakers sometimes forget words. But for language learners, it can be frustrating. You learn, forget, learn again, and it feels like a cycle that never ends.
But here's the good news. You're not the problem. It's not your brain that's failing, it's the method you're using. And in today's episode, we're going to give you some powerful, simple strategies that actually work.
We'll share practical tips, personal examples, and even a fun challenge at the end of the episode. So whether you're a beginner or advanced, this episode will help you build a strong vocabulary that sticks.
All right, let's get started and break the cycle of forgetting. It's time to learn how to make new words stick in your memory for good.
So, Brain, before we jump into the solutions, let's talk about the problem. Why is it so hard to remember new English words?
Oh yeah, great place to start. And honestly, it's one of the biggest complaints we hear from learners. They say, I learn a word today, but by tomorrow, it's gone. And you know what? That's completely normal. The brain doesn't hold on to information that feels unimportant or random.
Exactly. When you just read a word or see it once on a vocabulary list, your brain thinks, okay, cool, but I don't need to save this. It's like trying to memorize random phone numbers. You forget them unless you use them often.
Right. And another reason is that many learners try to memorize long lists of words without any context, just word and meaning. But the brain doesn't work like a dictionary.
Yes, our brains love connections, not isolated facts. If you try to remember a word like perseverance without any story, image, or sentence, it's going to slip away quickly.
And then there's the issue of overloading. Some learners try to memorize 20, 30, even 50 words a day. That's not effective because it's not about how many words you see, it's about how many you remember and use.
And let's not forget stress. When you're learning under pressure, maybe you have a test or you're trying to impress someone, you often block yourself from remembering anything.
Totally. Memory works best when you're relaxed and enjoying the process. So if learning words feels like a chore, it's time to change the way you approach it.
So, to wrap this part up, if you're forgetting words, don't worry. It doesn't mean you're a bad learner. It just means you need a smarter method. And that's what we're going to dive into next.
Exactly. Stick with us. We're about to give you the tools and techniques to turn those forgotten words into permanent vocabulary. All right? Tip number 1, and probably the most important one. Use new words in real-life context.
Yes, if you learn a word but never use it, your brain thinks it's not important. But when you use that word in your daily life, boom, it sticks.
Let's say you learn the word enthusiastic. You can look at the meaning and say, okay, it means excited or eager. But if you never actually say something like, I'm enthusiastic about learning English, then you'll probably forget it tomorrow.
Exactly. That's why I always tell my students, don't just memorize, personalize. Take the word and put it into a sentence that's true for you.
Yes, you can even talk to yourself. No shame. I do it in the languages I'm learning. Like, today, I'm feeling enthusiastic because I'm going to try a new speaking app. Boom, real life, personal and emotional. That's how memory works.
And you don't need to wait for a perfect conversation partner. You can use new words while journaling, texting a friend, commenting on social media, or even ordering food.
True story, one learner told me they remembered the word delicious because they said it every time they ate lunch. They would literally say out loud, this rice is delicious. And now that word is stuck in their brain forever.
That's the power of context. When you connect a word to a feeling, a situation, or something real, your brain says, "Uh-huh, this is useful. I'll keep it."
So here's a quick challenge next time you learn a new word. Don't just repeat it 10 times. Instead, use it in a real or realistic sentence about your day. Say it out loud, write it down, or type it in your phone.
That's how words move from short-term memory to long-term memory. Real-life use equals real results. All right, let's move into tip number 2, visual memory techniques. And yes, that includes mind maps, doodles, even stick figures.
Ha 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 ha. Yes, don't worry. You don't need to be an artist. This is about how your brain remembers, not how good your drawing looks.
Exactly. Our brains are wired to remember images better than text. So if you can connect a word to a picture, a color, or even a shape, it becomes 10 times easier to recall.
Let's take the word confused. You could just try to memorize the meaning, or you could draw a simple face with question marks above the head. That image sticks much longer than just reading the word.
Or even better, create a mind map. Write the word confused in the middle, then draw branches like a time you felt confused in class, a question mark icon, a sentence, I was confused during the meeting.
That's such a powerful method. You're not just seeing the word, you're connecting it to feelings, events, and visuals, and those connections stronger memory.
One of my students learned the word storm and drew a picture of their messy room, calling it a clothes storm. It was funny, and they never forgot that word again.
Yes, the brain loves humor and emotion. So don't be afraid to get creative. Use highlighters, draw emojis next to new words, or even make little flashcard sketches.
Even apps like Notion or Anki let you add images, or you can just use a notebook. Keep it simple, keep it visual.
So, to everyone listening, next time you learn a new word, ask yourself, can I draw it? Can I imagine it? Can I turn it into a funny little scene in my mind? If the answer is yes, you'll remember it much faster.
Coming up next, we're talking about one of the most powerful memory tools ever invented, spaced repetition and flashcards. Don't go anywhere.
Now, let's talk about a technique that's backed by science and used by some of the world's best language learners, spaced repetition.
Yes, it might sound complicated, but it's actually really simple and super effective. It's all about reviewing words at the right time before you forget them.
Exactly. So when you first learn a word, your brain is like, okay, this might be important. But if you don't see that word again soon, it disappears. Spaced repetition works by showing you the word again right before your brain forgets it.
Right. And every time you review it, the gap between reviews gets longer. For example, day 1, you learn the word. Day 2, you review it. Day 4, you review it again. Day 8, day 15, and so on.
Each review strengthens the memory. It's like going to the gym. Each time you lift the word, it becomes stronger in your brain.
And the best part? You don't have to do this manually. There are amazing apps that use this technique automatically like Anki, Quizlet, or Memories.
Yes, I personally use Anki. It's free, powerful, and once you get the hang of it, it saves you hours of wasted study time.
But if you prefer something physical, no problem. You can use good old paper flashcards. Just make sure to organize them by review days. Use one box for new words, another for review soon, and a final box for mastered.
Also, here's a tip: don't just write the word and the translation. Write a phrase or sentence on the back. Like instead of just curious kungakao, write, I'm curious about how birds fly. That gives your brain more context, and you're more likely to remember it.
I love that. And one more bonus tip, say the word out loud when you review it. Don't just read silently. That small action helps lock it into your brain.
So remember, repetition is not boring if you do it the smart way. And with spaced repetition, you don't just learn more, you forget less.
Coming up next, we'll talk about why learning phrases instead of single words can make your memory stronger and your speaking more natural. Stay tuned. All right, tip number 4, and this one is a game changer. Don't learn words alone. Learn them in phrases.
Yes, this is one of the biggest mistakes learners make. They memorize individual words like get, take, or go, but then they don't know how to use them in real life.
Exactly. But if you learn phrases like get ready, take a break, or go for a walk, you suddenly sound more natural and you remember them more easily.
Why? Because your brain doesn't speak in single words. It thinks in chunks, in natural patterns. So when you learn a phrase, you're learning the real rhythm of English.
Totally. Think about native speakers. We rarely say, I am happy. Today. We say it as one flowing phrase, I'm happy today. That's how fluency works.
And from a memory perspective, it's powerful. The phrase gives your brain context, emotion, and function. It's easier to remember take a deep breath than just the word breath.
And let's be honest, it also saves time. Instead of learning 10 random words, you can learn 5 useful phrases that help you speak immediately.
Here's a quick tip for everyone listening. Whenever you hear or read a new word, ask yourself, how is it used? Look for it in a sentence, or even better, create your own phrase with it.
Right. For example, let's say you just learned the word confident. Don't stop there. Learn. I feel confident when I speak English. She's a confident speaker. Confidence comes with practice.
And once you've got those phrases, say them out loud, use them in your speaking, and you'll remember the word naturally, no memorization needed.
Up next, we'll show you why speaking the words out loud is just as important as seeing or reading them. Don't miss it.
All right, tip number 5 is short but super powerful. Don't just read new words, speak them.
Yes. A lot of learners make the mistake of studying vocabulary silently. They look at the word, maybe write it down, and then move on. But if you don't actually say the word, your mouth doesn't learn it.
Exactly. There's a big difference between knowing a word and being able to say it naturally in a conversation.
And here's the science behind it. When you speak a word out loud, you engage more senses. You're using your ears, your mouth, your memory, even your muscles. That makes the memory stronger.
And you also catch pronunciation mistakes early. For example, if you see the word comfortable, you might think it's said just like it looks. But when you say it out loud, you realize it's pronounced comfortable.
Yes, and the more you say the word, the more natural it feels. Eventually, it becomes automatic, like muscle memory for your mouth.
So here's what we recommend. When you learn a new word or phrase, say it out loud 3 to 5 times. Use it in a sentence. Record yourself if you can. Even speak to your mirror. Don't be shy.
Seriously, talking to yourself is one of the best language hacks. And guess what? You're always available to practice with yourself.
Haha, exactly. So remember, see it, say it, use it. That's how you make vocabulary stick and start sounding fluent.
And in the next tip, we'll show you how to go one step further by turning words into personal stories or experiences. Okay, tip number 6, and this one is all about storytelling. If you want to remember a word for a long time, use it in a story or a personal sentence.
Yes, the brain loves stories. Think about it. Can you remember random numbers? Probably not. But can you remember a funny story your friend told you 5 years ago? Absolutely.
Exactly. And when you turn a word into a personal experience, it becomes part of your memory. For example, let's say the new word is nervous. You could say, I was nervous before my English presentation last week.
Now that's real. It connects the word to an actual feeling, situation, and memory. That's 10 times more effective than just repeating nervous means worried.
Here's another example. Imagine you just learned the word adventure. Don't just define it, relive it. Say, last summer I went on an adventure to the mountains with my cousins. We got lost, but it was amazing.
I love that. That one story probably teaches you 5 words: adventure, mountain, cousins, lost, amazing. And because it's your story, you're not going to forget it.
Exactly. And even if you don't have a real story, make one up. Create a silly, funny, or emotional sentence using the word, like, my dog had an adventure in the neighbor's garden and ate all their flowers.
Haha, that's a good one. So here's a practical tip. Start a vocabulary journal, but instead of just writing definitions, write a short story or memory using each new word.
And even better, read it out loud or share it with a friend or teacher. That small action makes a huge difference.
So remember, if you want to lock in a word forever, don't just memorize it, live it. Make it personal. Make it part of your story.
All right, now it's time for one of our favorite parts, our personal tips. What works for us when it comes to remembering words?
All right, now that we've shared 6 powerful tips, let's get a little personal. Anna, what's your favorite way to remember new words when you're learning a new language?
Great question. For me, it's definitely a mix of emotion and repetition. If a word makes me laugh, or if I connect it to a strong memory, it sticks. I also like to use voice memos on my phone. I'll record myself saying new words in a sentence and listen to them later while walking or cooking.
Nice! That's a good use of time, turning passive moments into language review.
Exactly. What about you?
I'm a huge fan of teaching the word to someone else, even if that someone is my cat. Seriously, I'll learn a new word, then pretend I'm explaining it to a beginner. Okay, today's word is curious. It means you want to know more about something. Like, I'm curious about new cultures. That teaching moment helps me lock it in.
That's brilliant and fun, too. Another thing I do is use colors in my notes. I highlight verbs in blue, nouns in green, adjectives in yellow. The colors help my visual memory kick in.
Smart move. I think the main idea here is find what works for you. Make it fun, make it active, and make it personal.
Absolutely, because learning words doesn't have to be boring or hard. It can actually be a really creative and rewarding process.
Speaking of creative, it's challenge time. Ready to give our listeners something to try this week?
All right, everyone, it's challenge time. Are you ready?
Bring it on, Anna!
Okay, here's a simple but powerful challenge for the next 3 days. Each day, choose 5 new English words you want to learn.
Sounds doable. What should listeners do with those 5 words?
Great question. Use the tips we shared today. For each word, try to 1. Put it into a real-life sentence, something about your day. 2. Say the sentence out loud at least 3 times. 3. Draw a quick picture or make a mental image to go with the word. 4. If you can, write a short story or personal sentence using at least 2 of your new words. 5. Review the words again before you go to bed.
That's a fantastic way to combine speaking, writing, visualizing, and reviewing, all in just a few minutes each day.
Exactly. This challenge isn't about spending hours, it's about using smart, focused practice that actually helps you remember.
So, listeners, are you in? Let us know in the comments which 5 words you're going to learn first.
And don't forget to tag us on social media if you want. We love hearing your progress.
Before we wrap up, Anna, I want to share something important with all our listeners. Learning new words isn't just about vocabulary, it's about building your world.
That's so true. Every new word you learn opens a door, whether it's a new idea, a new culture, or a new friendship.
Think about it this way. Words are the building blocks of communication. The more words you know, the bigger and richer your world becomes.
And don't get discouraged if it feels slow sometimes. Remember, every word you learn is a step closer to your goals, whether it's traveling, working abroad, or just feeling confident in English.
Exactly. So keep going, keep practicing, and keep building. Your world is waiting for you.
You've got this, and we're here with you every step of the way.
All right, let's quickly review what we covered today. To remember new words better, remember these key tips.
First, use words in real-life context, make them part of your day. Then, use visual memory techniques like drawings or mind maps to make the words stick.
Don't forget spaced repetition review words at the right time to lock them in. Also, learn words in phrases. Not alone, it sounds more natural and helps memory.
And very important, speak the words out loud and use them in your own stories or sentences. This makes learning personal and much more effective.
Plus, try our 3-day challenge and find your own personal methods to make vocabulary learning fun and effective.
Remember, learning new words is a journey. Be patient with yourself, practice consistently, and you will see progress.
Thanks for hanging out with us today. Keep building your English one word at a time. That's it for today's episode of the English Learning Podcast. We hope you found these tips helpful.
If you enjoyed this episode, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share it with your friends who want to improve their English.
And don't forget to comment below with the 5 new words you're going to learn for our challenge. We love hearing from you.
Also, check out our other episodes for more tips, stories, and fun English learning ideas.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. Keep practicing. Keep growing.
Bye, everyone!